Accounts payable ACH payments upload directly from the bank to the vendor without having to print or send a physical check. This is similar to a direct deposit in payroll. The process begins by determining what PowerTools users have access to the ACH process. This is done by marking the ACH options in the user security. Second, the bank in the system control, Add Edit Bank Accounts, must be set up with the ACH account for the accounts payable. The bank URL for ACH submission is the website address for the bank to easily access their website for upload. The Generate Prenote option creates a zero test file that can be sent to the bank for verification of account and routing numbers for each ACH vendor. The vendors accepting ACH payments will need to have a routing and bank account information added to their vendor file, as well as a name and email address for the notification. If we take a look at an example that we've set up, we can see the ACH information with the electronic payment vendor checked that will automatically check him as an ACH payment in the check processing. The routing, the bank account, the contact to notify, which does not have to be the same contact for the accounts payable vendor, and a contact email. This is the person that will receive the confirmation that the payment has been done. The ACH documentation found on the PowerTools website includes a form that can be sent to the vendor with the information needed to process an ACH payment, which is basically this information you're seeing right here. When ACH payments are used, the check processing screen includes an additional option for payment. The ACH electronic payment button is at the top of the screen and will be effective for any records checked for ACH. The items checked are those with the ACH button checked in the vendor screen, but they can be unchecked to print a paper check at any time. Select the Pay Now button to select the invoices for payment. Multiple vendors can be checked at the same time because they will be treated separately, just like a check. Instead of hitting Print Checks by Controller Vendor, now you will select the ACH electronic payment. You will be prompted for a voucher number and an effective date. The voucher number will be the same for each invoice paid, and the effective date will be the check date and the date the bank is notified that the payment should go through. Hit the Create ACH to display the list of invoices that are going to be paid. Just like AP check processing, until you close the screen, the process is not completed. At that point, you can get out of the process if there was a mistake made or additional invoices need to be included. When asked if you're sure you want to create the ACH file and post the payment to the invoice, it will now post this payment to each invoice listed and create an ACH file in the CUCS Reports folder. This is the file that will be uploaded to the bank. At the same time, there is an email being sent to each individual that's being paid. And this is that email account that was used in the vendor file. Let's take a look at what the email looks like. Okay, so this is what the email will look like going to the vendor. It's telling the vendor that a direct deposit has been made into the account and who it's from. It will also list each invoice number that's being paid. If we take a look at one that is paying multiples, we can see each individual invoice, the invoice date, and the payment amount. In addition, when you look at the invoices paid, when you browse invoices by vendor or by check date, you can see that the invoice is paid with that effective date and the voucher number that we gave, but also the check type will now be listed as ACH as opposed to computer or manual if it's a quick check or a manual check. Give us a call at 407-834-0700 if you should have any additional questions or would like to set up the ACH processing.